In this life, it's so true. You will try out some things for you, then you'll find what works for you. Just take a deep breath inside.
So this afternoon I'm here with the rest of the A.S.K group. And if you guys could do me a favor and just share your names, your character names, and then a little bit about your character.
My name's Hamish Sturgeon, and I play Andrew. Andrew has alien hand syndrome. He worked as an air traffic controller at Heathrow, so he's British, obviously, as I am. And he, he had to leave there under circumstances that I probably won't go into too much right now.
Of course.
He now works at LAX.
Oh.
And obviously, he has a disability which makes it difficult for his job and to kind of manage his job. But he's also, he's found a team with his A.S.K teammates. And that's Andrew.
I'm Koob. I play Lorraine. Lorraine is a nurse who believes in euthanasia. Not necessarily. Well, I'll just leave it at that. Believes in euthanasia.
Okay. And she's not yet...
Correct. In the first
mix.
2 episodes,
right.
You meet Lorraine a couple of times, but I have not officially joined the team yet.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
I'm Dorothy Blue, and I'm playing Betty. Betty is an LA transplant. She's from Texas, and she's all about big hair, big fun, and baked goods. But I would warn you, you may not want to try her baked goods. Just a heads up.
Right.
Hi, my name is Theo, and I'm playing Mario. Mario is a professional man. Not going to tell you exactly what it is that he does quite yet. But he has these 2 different personalities where he has his professional life, and then he has his life, what he does after dark.
Okay.
And that involves possibly some high-heeled shoes, some lingerie, maybe some wigs. And he's kind of just an interesting character in this A.S.K group because he has been bullied all of his life, and now it's come to the point where now it's his time to take his revenge back on those that have bullied and those who continue to bully others. So he's quite an interesting character, and you're going to learn a lot about Mario. More surprises are going to be coming out. So.
Now I also know in talking with Mark Glenn, who's your leader in A.S.K, because we don't really know what his method is yet. We're not sure. Although with you guys, we know a little bit. Can you share that with me?
Yeah, Mario, as I said, come nightfall, he loves to, get dolled up, let's say, and he does this because the only way that he can carry out his methods is by putting himself in a position to where it seems like he's becoming this weak person, but in reality he's a really strong character, a really strong person. And so he gets dressed in drag and takes out all of his victims with the little blade action. So it's something that's very interesting to think about, because if you think about, people who are gay or transgendered, or people who cross-dress or do drag, the perception is that these people are sissies or weak or this, that, and the other. And it's quite the opposite. And I feel like that's why Mario chooses to take out his victims in that way, because the kind of irony that's involved in it.
Right, yeah. That's really, that's a great take on it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah. What about you, Dorothy?
Betty, and traditionally poison is known as a woman's weapon. Really, it is. And I think that's very telling for her as well. She is, if nothing else, she's always a lady. And if that means that she needs to take someone back to task for maybe stepping out of bounds, I think that's why poison is the way to go for her. Also, I believe that sort of the same thing, transgender women perceived as being weak, perceived as being not dangerous, and I think that she's there to make sure that the dangerous people are kept in check. whether that is, in a dark alley or at a PTA meeting. I mean, people just need to be put in their place. Yes, I think that's the way to go with Betty.
Right.
And I see her as a lioness as well. She's
Sure.
As much as she takes down the people that need to be taken down, she's also very protective. And in her own way, I think she would do what she needed to protect the secrets of A.S.K.
Sure.
That they are part of her family.
Yeah.
In that way, if you meet her once, you're part of her family. She's going to protect you forever.
Right.
That kind of thing.
That.
Much like myself.
And so, Di, we don't really know yet. I mean, we kind of have an idea of what that could be like.
Well, I'm a nurse.
Yeah. Exactly.
There are many ways that you can go from there.
Right.
Yeah, there's the my particular. I was talking to a friend about this in London a couple of months ago, and we sort of hit upon the Robin Hood myth.
Right.
So I'm kind of like the Robin Hood of
There you go.
serial killers.
Excellent.
Andrew has this difficult relationship with his hand, obviously. So a big part of it, I always see Andrew as not 100% in control of what happens with his hand, and that's obviously how he, manages to take out some of these people.
Sure.
But he controls it to a degree. But his relationship, it's all about kind of there's two people as part of him.
Sure.
So I kind of always saw him a little bit like that.
Right.
So part of it, he's likely to take somebody out, but he's trying his best not to. But being part of the group, I think, is his way of connecting.
Right. Okay.
So he's spent a lot of time not being able to connect.
Right.
And he also does do a lot of marijuana, which kind of so it keeps him, mellow.
Right. I did not know that.
That is an interesting detail.
Yeah, no kidding. It's learning all kinds of things. Can you guys share with me a little bit about your experience working with the rest of the cast and crew and filming and just that whole experience of doing the pilot with everybody?
Yeah, I really liked it. I think it's one of the most interesting groups of people that I've worked with because there's a lot of us as well.
Right.
So we were spending a lot of time working with different people, and yeah, it was just very collaborative. It felt really kind of natural as well. It didn't feel like an effort in any way. Sometimes it can feel like an effort, but it did. And so we kind of interacted well together, kind of off screen and on as well.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a seamless transition into we'd be just chatting and then we'd go into our scene.
Sure.
So it kind of felt really great like that.
Nice.
I because I haven't, my character hasn't officially joined the group yet. I've only worked with Adrian and with Mark.
Right.
As the two contacts, and which has been great.
Yeah.
It's been really fun. And I know I was surprised. You mentioned how many of us are there. I was surprised at how many people. I hadn't met them, but I know 17 people that they know.
Right.
So we're all sort of in the same community. And just hadn't met them yet, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
It is. It is. I would agree with that. And something that I really enjoy was even when we were shooting, if we were on our phones, it's because we were Instagramming about each other. That's the best.
Right.
I love it. We're like, okay, let's take a selfie and post it because we're on set together. And you just don't find that in a group anymore. Or it's just a rare thing because you did have to come along and just cast a group that's going to work together. We would like to for many episodes and seasons to come. Sure. And if you don't have that chemistry to start, it's a death knell. Oh, sweet Jesus, gotta go to set today. And, and I've certainly been in that time when I come in, because I'm the cockeyed optimist, so I'm always like, let's be buddies, and not everybody responds.
People are like, no.
I know, right? I'm cheerful, and some people get annoyed, and that's okay. And, but that wasn't the case here. I brought pie, and people ate it. And, that's what I like.
Pie.
Yeah, I would probably be the person that didn't respond to that so quickly, just because I'm kind of a very quiet person until I get to know people. But it's
I
very
made you like me,
You
though.
did. You made me
I
like
totally made you like me.
It was the pie.
It's a powerful trait.
But it's just interesting that the first time I remember meeting everyone was when we did the Thanksgiving promo, and I was like, that was a while ago, and I was like, when is this ever going to happen, you know?
Right.
And then, you know, we started getting emails and things were coming together, and it's like, oh, we're going to get to meet these people, see these people again in the setting and see how this all gels.
Yeah.
And so once we did all get together on set, it's like Hamish and everyone's saying, it's like we just gelled really easily. The transition from, you know, being in a theater doing a reading to actually being on set and working together, it was seamless. And yeah, you and I, we clicked very well. I mean, obviously our characters are like really our best friends in this. And it's been nothing but very exciting, and everybody seems to bring their A game and is bringing their own ideas to their characters, in addition to what Julie has told us.
Sure.
Things that we aren't yet to expose, that we're going to find out later on.
Right.
But it's just nice to see everyone do their work.
Yeah. I think one of the common themes I'm hearing with the interviews with everybody is this ability, I mean, you have a really great script that you're working with, and this ability to also be creative with your character and bring some things to the table. So it's a really nice blend between the balance of having a great script and then also being able to play and be creative. Is that how you guys feel as well?
Yeah, I think Julie gives us the opportunities to, you know, bring whatever it is that she thinks will work for our characters, to present our characters in the best light.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we have the freedom to say, hey, you know, this idea about X, Y, and Z, I don't necessarily know that, you know, that Mario would necessarily feel that way. I think that he would feel this way about it. So would it be okay if I tried this? And she's like, sure, go ahead. It's just, you know,
Right.
go ahead, and
Right.
we'll see how it looks. We'll see how it looks. And if it works, then perfect.
Yeah, she was very open to trying things.
Yeah.
And, you know, the day of shooting, she was like, hey, I'm going to do this. Okay.
And the whole like perspective of the character, because for instance, you know, I have the perspective of I'm also a mother, you know,
Right.
those sort of things, and to know that world and how
Yeah.
you get caught up into those dramas and all that, and those things you can bring and fill out your character, make
Sure.
it not just because the potential is for us all to be very two-dimensional, and with this scenario, and that is not how it is presented. Which
Sure.
thank you.
Right.
It's kind of, it would be really easy, I think, to just try to just play funny and be
Yeah.
funny. And we've all kind of got quite a deep sense of who we are. And also, with like what we were saying, I think just being able to make adjustments or just feel open to make those adjustments makes a
Right.
big difference. And I think that's why it gels well with us.
Right.
It's kind of, you know, that's why it feels like it's really well.
It's layered.
It's layered, yeah. Definitely.
Fantastic. Okay, so the big question. If you could describe Ask in 4 words, what would it be?
Is that you might be?
Sure.
Right. Funny. That's easy. Characterful. It's interesting and different. I just realised it's easier going first.
Yeah. You're like, I'll go first. Bloody. Funny. Deep. And weird.
I would say dangerous. Dangerous, collaborative, adventurous, and hilarious.
Yes.
I would say crazy, wild, unexpected, and I'd like to describe it as a ride.
Good one. Yeah. Well, you guys, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When it's time